Hello? Hi, everyone. Wee. The Switch 2 is out. Honestly, I didn't think it would come out so soon. They had a date and everything, though, right? Alright, this is gonna be a difficult setup. I have to put gloves on because the oil paint's messy. What are we going to be painting? Vaporeon Eevee, a cute little picture. Man, I need like a fourth monitor. I need another one. Me? You? I thought about doing like a scene, but then I was like, it might be kind of hard to do a scene. I have not painted in a while. And then for me, painting scenes, meow. Painting scenes or like painting in general, it takes a lot of like sketch work. So I'm doing something kind of easy. There will be a lot of silence. Whoa. Did my hair cut out for a second? You guys see that? Does it ruin chapter 1 and 2 all day? Prepare for 3 and 4. I started playing chapter 1 a couple days ago. And then I started chapter 2 last night. But I didn't finish it because it takes like 4 or 5 hours to do chapter 2. It's supposed to like 3 hours from chapter 1. But I will get there. I've not seen... Is it actually out yet? I saw people were streaming it. But I have not clicked on anything in relation to it. The algorithm... Oh, wait, I just forgot. I need to get my Gammy. Hold on. I don't use that much. By Gammy, I mean Gamsol, which is a odorless spirit? Is that what it's called? It's like one of those cleaners. It's like the cleaner for oil paint. Hold on. I got it. Finger painting. I tend to sometimes, if it like the paint is like frustrating me, I'm not afraid to just get my hands in there. Sometimes it's just easier that way. Your hands also have oil on them. I don't know if that actually does anything, but let's see. Open this Gamsol. The Gammy, as I like to call it, giving everything a nickname. I can't open it. It's child locked. Okay, got it. Let's see. Not too much. This stuff like evaporates really quickly, so I need to keep it closed. Final boss of the weird rot's really hard. We're having fun. Can you see this? Kind of. Maybe I should put it like a little bit back here. I feel like I've not like really explored the routes that the game has to offer. Just because, I don't know, I like to play it like by the book, like how it recommends. Because when you first start out, it's like, Rossi's like, oh, in this world, you don't have to fight. You can just, this brush good? Maybe. You don't have to fight. You can just, be nice to people and you don't have to kill them. And it's like, yeah, you're so right. And so that's what happens. I need this long paintbrush. It's gonna get in the way. Because normally when you're painting, the way I was taught was going big to small. So bigger to, bigger to specific. So you go really big and then really small. But this painting is very small already. So I don't think I really need, I don't have, is this it? It is a painting knife. I was like, I need that. I need to, how busted my tube is. My white oil painting tube. You can't even see the brand anymore, but it's pretty common for the brands to just like the tube to be so messed up. It's like beyond recognition. It's normal. It's encouraged even. I have to like pick at this because the top is glued shut. The paint. I'm gonna do a pink underpainting because Eevee is like a brown, like a beautiful like yellowish brown, and then Vaporeon's blue. But by doing a sort of like warmer underpainting, it'll make it look cute. Here's the, what's it called? Alizarin Crimson. It's also very busted. So shiny with the light. We're gonna do that. No sketch. We're just having fun. I don't know how far I'm gonna get in this either. But we'll see. It can be a multi-day project. I think paintbrush do I want to use? Paint on canvas, not your explanation is going over your head. Actually... But doesn't it make it cooler? Not Lowe's here. It's Home Depot. Hi, Home Depot. What's another hardware store? Is Menards? That's like a region-specific place. Is that a hardware store? This one's like not stuff or... Okay. When you do paintings, they're like don't use like a pencil to sketch your stuff, and it's like so true. But I'm getting this one. Oh, this is a nice one. I use this paintbrush. Home Depot and Lowe's. A what? Menards? Isn't that like a... Is that a hardware store? In Wisconsin a few times. It was cool. Yeah, it's like a very region-specific type of establishment. But I think it was a hardware store. I'm not too sure. But it's like incredibly region-specific. Okay, I did it in my little gammy, which makes it like the equivalent of using water. And so we're going to do a sketch. I'm probably going to do a lot of wiping. I usually paint incredibly dry. The pose I had in mind... Vaporeon is huge in comparison to Eevee. We're just gonna go like super simple. More like this. You safely say it's a hardware store. I mean, you were there. I trust that. I think I'm gonna have too much like white. Let's see. Keep it as dry as I can because I hate when there's so much paint on the canvas. I can't do anything about it. Become helpless. This canvas is too small. I love painting huge. But this canvas is too small. But if I did a huge canvas, it would be very, very hard to see. Feels like this, sort of. 8 times 10, 80. 80's nuts? I know that's what you were going for, but I got you before you did. Strike before you were stricken. Or whatever. Eat before you were eaten. Okay. So, no, the canvas. 8 by 10. I think it's an 8 by 10. I think so. Could be 12. I don't know. I know a lot of mine that I have are 12 something. But I think this one might be 8 by 10. A nice, cool, standard 8 by 10. Like this. We were having a math major say these nuts jokes. I'm just trying to stay on top of it, is all. Little like bunny ears of this Eevee is so cute. Eevee has like little like spikes, like spiked hair, right? I'm pretty sure in the Let's Go game you can like have it give it like different hair and stuff. I never played that game though. But it just reminds me of like that old school like art style. Usually it was more like in animation memes, but or like Flipnote where they have like the Eevee and it has like the huge tuft of hair. And like everyone had like an EVOC with that like hairstyle. That kind of thing. Bro, I love painting. This shit easy. It's not at all easy, but it makes my brain work very hard. And it's very entertaining. Let's see. Going super general. Almost a little too general for my liking, but it's fine. That's how it's supposed to start. Like really general. Satisfying? Yeah, very. Good Earl on that canvas. Good old Earl. Rose on that canvas. The tail's like so like chunky. But like its tail isn't always that. I guess it depends on the angle. Sometimes the Vaporeon's tail looks very, very thick. Other times it's like thin. Bijan's clashing with the Lily Cove theme? Wait! I didn't know that was on. Hold on. I did not know that the BGM was on. For whatever reason, the BGM that's on it, like on OBS that I have for like backup or whatever, it's always so quiet. But I know you guys can hear very well. To wrap your own canvas to custom size next week. Nice. I feel like custom sizes are nice, but it's very much the kind of thing like you need to know, or you should probably know like what you want ahead of time. I definitely don't have like a preference for size other than like huge, I guess. You're using headphones. Headphones make all the difference. Well, let's be like this. Here's the big paunch, whatever. Okay, and I start adding values or whatever. It says whatever a million times. Let's see. EV. Start being more clear. Hope these gloves aren't reflective. They don't seem to be. Maybe a little bit, but it's fine. Mosaic. EV fluff. And then tail. Or hand. Pa. Vinyl and record size paintings for those frames. Ooh, that'd be cute. That's like a good size to like display stuff. This most artsy city in Hoenn. Wow. How many like artsy fartsy cities are there in Pokemon? Because I was watching the anime recently, and like Artisan is one of them. They were like, "Whoa, yeah, in Artisan he like did this or whatever." But my ass was like, because there was in that like episode when they're in Artisan and like Roy is like, there's like an art festival or something going on, and they were like having like a community thing, and it was like, oh, what's his name? The old man that is the gym leader there. He was like, yeah, you guys, it's like a community thing. You guys can just like use whatever materials you guys want and like make art. It's like, whoa, that's like stupid expensive. But like Ray was making like a Charizard sculpture out of clay, and he was like figuring it out. And he was like, oh, what's his name? Wait, Coco. I was like, wait, Coco, like fire it, like go do the fire thing on it, and then it'll like stay solid. Because he was like, oh, why is it falling down, right? And then I was like, bro, if he like, what the fuck? Like if you just put fire just on the clay open air like that, I don't think it would fire the way that it intended. Like it would not have fired as nicely as it seemed. Like Fake Records gonna try to paint text in a few styles. Very nice. Painting text sucks. It's so hard. That's where I'm like, oh yeah, stencils and stuff are so nice. Stencils really, really do it. Lumio City is art filled. It really, yeah, probably. It's a very artsy city. It's hard when it's all like hard to navigate. I believe it. Berg. Yes. Whatever that city was. I just think about the ice cream that they sell there. Clay can burn. Yeah, clay is like super finicky with its conditions, especially like depending on the clay, like what's in it, like what minerals and stuff are in it. It's finicky. Eevee doesn't really have like cheek puffs. It can though. I'd make it so fluffy, it's gonna be like, oh my god, it has like a frill. Okay, and then nose, simple nose. This, I need to probably get smaller paintbrush. I don't wanna. Castelia, yeah, Castelia City. This. I wanted the paw to show, but the tail doesn't allow that, so bye bye. Make this a little thinner. More gammy. The cone, yeah, ice cream. Beautiful ice cream. Then sometimes it's a, what's it called? Not a frillish. The ice cream. Sometimes it's the Pokemon. Like, whoa, who sold me this Pokemon? It's basically a scam at that point. If you like go there and you like go to buy it, and you're like, one ice cream, please, and they give you the whole fucking Pokemon. But it's like a limited type of food, so then it's like, cool Pokemon, but where's my fucking food? When it comes to fluff, yeah. I was thinking of like a Pokemon, like if there was like a Vaporeon in real life, like it probably wouldn't be fluffy. It would be like not fishy, like reptile maybe, like that sort of like cool to the touch Skin? I don't know. Smooth. Too smooth. Very, yeah, seal skin. Something like that. Like maybe if it does have fur, it's like light fur. The body. This. Something like very, very weird. Looks nice. Thank you. Has to be at a weird angle. You guys are seeing like 90% canvas too. Like the back of it. It's such a thin canvas. Let's see. Maybe I want it to look this way. Let's see. This way. Mimis. I was looking at like references. Do you think if you poured Sprite in your Vaporeon, it will be infinite soda? I wonder like how much control they have in that like in that regard. See from the primer, they really did. I mean, I'm pretty sure this was one of them like budget canvases. How many? I guess it doesn't really matter. How many thingies there is? Frills. Like how much? Like Vaporeon's like all water basically, but like how much Sprite would you have to give it for it to be like, okay, here's your Sprite. Your Sprite Vaporeon. Like a little too strange. Vaporeon is always the one that has like the weirdest proportions. So depending on like the art and stuff, it always looks strange. I've never really been able to land a proper looking Vaporeon like ever. The ratio of its like face and stuff like differs between art. At least 2 cans. For sure, at least. A single one would just be a tasty little treat, and then like that's about it. Sprite Zero turns clear. Does Sprite have a color to it, like in general? Does it have to be a Sprite Zero? Doesn't Sprite like not have color to it? Or is it like when you open it and you pour it, it's like yellow, like gross yellow? There's like, what was it? There's like a Sprite tea that's out right now, but like the font that they use makes it look like it says flea. And then people says it tastes like shit. I was like, y'all drinking the flea Sprite. I've not seen it around though, so I've not been able to try it myself. Oh yeah, the frill. Dude, the frill is like such a kind of green. I think it's all clear now. I remember the last time it was green was a Lipton tea bag and put it in a Sprite bottle. Yeah, definitely. It's probably. I wonder how much cheaper it would be. If you drink a ton of it, it'd be way, way cheaper. But the flea Sprite for today. This is so cute. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this. Has a wide back and fat ass head, but small front arms. Why? Vaporeon is so fucking weird. It has like the weirdest proportions out of all of them. Sometimes I think Umbreon sometimes can have weird proportions, but like without a doubt, Vaporeon has the strangest body. Just straight up weird. Especially in like different like 3D angles, it just looks very, very, very odd. Do some gammy in that section. Had to look it up to confirm. Oh, my Gamsel's kind of blue. I guess that works out. Here, I'm gonna do all that, and I'm gonna wipe it with some paper towel. Ugh. See if I can get it though. It's so rough. I guess I did something. Cat meow. My phone stand is gonna get so much paint on it. I just rubbed the paintbrush on it. Accident. Thinner. And this is the frill. This is frill. Oh, speaking of frill, I have a friend to show. Let me get up and show. Fantastic painting when it's done. Thank you. I hope so. I don't have any paint in my thing, do I? Your boy Quasar. I love Quasar. Perfect specimen. Water on up too. Yeah. Next stop, two friend. Two. Put all the stuff on the floor. Because the desk has no room. Anyway, here's my new friend. Oh, I had to get paint on it. This thing was $20. $20 for this kind individual. Burn it? No, it was $20. The shoe, waka waka, waka waka, waka waka, waka waka. Waka waka says it's totally real Vaporeon. Anyway, the thing that I found funny, my sister, like, she picked it up and she was like, look at this area right here. You see that like little lip? She was like, there was too much fabric, so they sewed it like that. Because it's like a little bit like he's a little bit of a roll, a butt roll, but it's all right. And then like you can put your finger through this frill. So this frill is like abnormally large, but it's so that they could like staple it, and then it looks like cool, and it's like, whoa, look, it has a frill, like a cape, a butt flap hanging up like Jesus Christ. You can move the hands a little bit. It's so cute. I bought it because it came out on the website like maybe like 20 minutes after I saw it. No, before I saw it, after I saw it. I don't know how that works. Anyway, but it came up and I was like, I'm not really like a huge Ditto fan. But I looked up how much it cost before they had put it up on the US Pokemon Center. And people were selling it for like $100, like $60 to like $100. And I was like, you know what? Again, I'm gonna rip the Band-Aid, spend $20 on it, and then like not have to worry about it for another 50 years. You know what I mean? That sort of thing. It's so cute. The fur also is like super, super, super light. Like it's like an almost like you don't see that sort of color on Vaporeon very often. It's very light. If Ditto first showed up in the show ages ago. Oh, I have a bunch of white on this glove. I hope they didn't really mess up the plush. You can't sign 1K for Pokemon Doodle. I would have to put like a sticky note up here and like do this. I did not review my channel points prior to the stream, so Bleach Vaporeon, yeah. Ditto's memory was a little off. Okay, and then Vaporeon has little spikes. They go from its back. Sport Eevee's gonna have spikes on it. Or it's gonna be like sitting on spikes. This. Should have stopped a continuous story like that in the 3rd gen and just become a season thing and just bring like old characters from time to time. It's sort of like we're into bringing back old characters, but it really just was for like a specific thing, and very much like it wasn't very often like side characters. There was a lot of like more like main characters that you would see like in the games and stuff, but like in regards to like original side characters, they really didn't like do much with those. It's like a really weirdly proportioned Vaporeon, but it's alright. Yeah, I can fix this eye a little bit. I really don't have that many paintbrushes that get thinner than this. Painting on a size canvas like this is very difficult. Vaporeon has a single little thing on its eye. Bow and I. Bow and I win a 20v1. When I win a 20v1, I lose 1,000 aura points. You guys know what I'm talking about? This is my customary. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? I was in the car with my honorary little brother and his actual brother and my sister, and he was like talking about some sort of like school event thing that had happened. Just do like a closed eye like this. Actually, maybe not closed eye. Actually, closed eye would be cute. You know what I'm on about. Honey, you did 4x6. That's very, very small. That's super uber small. At that point, like I feel like I'm seeing every single like bump and like cranny, like every little pixel, basic IRL pixel. I can see it when it's like that small, and it makes it so hard to paint. That's when you really have to like start thinking about like important details. Anyway, we were in the car and he was talking about something, and then he says something like he's in the middle of a sentence, and he goes, "You guys don't get the reference." And we were like, "Wait, hold on! Like finish your statement." And then maybe we'll get the reference. Because I swear he was in the middle of the sentence and he was like, you guys don't get it. But he finished it and I was like, oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. And it's a video that I don't think I can pull up very well. Maybe I can. Hold on. You guys want to see a video real quick? I have to like scoot away for a second. But it's a video of this guy basically just says the thing that I said. Hold on. Smooth the canvas like a postcard. Interesting. He want to give you a chance. Now he like somehow got frustrated like a little too quickly. Let me see.
So when Marlon loses his eye, he gets over. So when
Okay. Done.
So when Marlon loses his eye, he gets aura. But when I win a 20v1, I get negative 10,000 aura? Wow. I see how it is.
Anyway, that's his entire bit. He'll do that entire bit, and the first part is always something different. But the punchline is, but when I win a 20v1, I lose insert amount of aura. And he goes, wow, I see. But the bit is, but when I win a 20v1. And that's that. That's that. I clicked the mud kit. Won't lie, you don't get it. There's nothing to get, so it's not like you guys are behind or anything. It's just the repetitiveness and like the funny, haha, funny voice. That's it. But when a 20v1, I lose 1,000 aura. Anyway, that was his reference. My sister was like, wow, no wonder they call you like a zoomer or whatever, because I did not fucking know that one. And I was like, really? It's old. It's actually really old. It's coming back though for some reason. There's never anything to get. Yes, never. Let me maybe just like solidify this. Be like a really nice undertone. Empty random clips just playing in your head. Only when I'm streaming. Only when I'm streaming. There's times and places for things, and streaming happens to be the one where that is the most appropriate. Makeup. Here's the arm. This. The tail could be up, but I feel like that's kind of a tangent. The tail's like this. Sort of tangent-y, but not really. Another math stream? I was thinking about like trying to do another one of those games, but I have to look into it. I didn't play very many growing up, so that was like the main one. Tangent time is stream time, of course. This little guy has a huge tail. Feel like a happy expression. I didn't put a reference of that on my thing, but it's fine. Or the math video. You can always just refer to the math video if you'd like to see what it's like. I like doing math. It just takes me a little bit. Very fun. On Windows 98. Would that even like run nicely at this far into the future? I feel like usually people play on like simulated environments. Forgot what they're called. Virtual machines? Is that the thing? Me, I'm gonna flood this with Yammy. The face, because it feels too much. Captain Crunch game that was a cereal box with the cereal box. I know I played a Captain Crunch game with a friend. It was so fun. It was at her family computer at her house, and we played like a Captain Crunch game. I don't know if it was the one that came with the box. I just know she had it because I didn't have it. It was very fun. It was like something about blueberries or like something, or like I just remember like the cereal. You're going insane. Whoa. Well, I'm trying to think of something. Please stand by. Okay. Just do the eyes first. It'll be easier to wipe. Making this too long. It's like way shorter. Where's my gammy brush? This is so difficult. A monster that ate cereal. That was the one. I don't remember. I only remember like a single game. I don't remember what it was. I think I saw it recently on like one of those like nostalgia TikToks. And I was like, whoa. The internet before whatever the like what I don't know, like pre 2010s internet or like early 2010s internet or something like that. I don't remember what it was. Something of the sort. Do I have a thinner brush? I know I do, but it's very hard to work. Because when like the thinner the brush, it's usually like very long. And so that makes it actually harder to work because you have to like think about the length. Of the brush part. It's so cute. I love it. It's so cute. How come downloadable Minecraft skins? Yeah, and if you buy it too late, you can't get it anymore. It's super limited. My sister, she got like it was like on clearance. It was like a Minecraft party set, and we were like, oh, let's like buy it so that when we have friends over and we have a picnic, because we're gonna have a picnic, let's just use those like utensils, right? And so we did, and then on it was like, oh, here's a code for like an item or whatever. But like the item was like, I think it was like a year, like expired like a year ago. It was like super old product. And we were like, oh, never mind. I have my elbow like almost entirely in paint. But I have to do the detail here. I'm gonna have to fix that. Fix it. New game, your beloved series of mine for like 6 years. Ain't that how it be? Truly. Let's erase a little bit. This has to be a Baneri, but it's not a Baneri. This Eevee looks like a little bunny, like so much so. Okay, maybe a little bit more of his actual color. So there's like a little bit of white there. They don't have eyebrows, but like you can just add eyebrows. I don't think I'm gonna do that, but they have like eyelids sort of sometimes, but not eyebrows. 7 years? Just one more year than you thought. But doesn't it feel all the same? Eek. Latina pencil eyebrows. What was that one video? Fuck, what was it? What did she say? Like specifically. I'm trying to remember. Fuck, something. I'm holding it down for you, but when you get out, I'll be holding it up. And she has like a very like Chicano like pencil eyebrow thing. I'm trying to remember the full script of the video. I can't remember. These gloves are getting gross. You can probably see it. Steve Smith joined the Latina gang. I have no idea what that is a reference to. Your biggest allies are a bunch of Latinas. Get on their good side. Don't be on their bad side. Holding it up, your wife is not allowed to hold it when I pee. I saw that recently that it is an old, was it a Reddit post? It is an old like screenshot that goes around. But that was had see recently. It's making the rounds again. There's Frill here. Here feels way longer than it should be, maybe. Gammy pencil. That's not even a pencil. Gammy paintbrush. Where are you? Gamathin. Where are you? American Dad. Solid image. I see. Wait, I feel like I have it in my head. A very Latina-looking American Dad character somewhere in my head. Yes. Probably seen it ages ago. Serious. See, here, this, but smaller. Yeah, I was saying like very early on in the stream, but I forgot to finish it. I was looking at references of like cats to like see like cute cat poses to like figure it out. And one of them I saw was an Oriental short hair cat, and they're the ones like that have like really big ears and then like droop and stuff. And I was like, oh my god, this looks just like a Vaporeon. It has like the same like droopy ears on the side. I was like, oh my gosh. It was so cute. Thing there. It was so cute. A little bit of this. Tail. Probably start sprinkling in some blue on this pretty soon. There's no way this is gonna dry for me to start doing stuff like glazing for it, but I don't really do glazing anyway. Pain in the butt. Pretty cute. This looks like a very chunky Vaporeon. Very chunky. You'll be posting the copy pasta? You just couldn't help yourself? What copy pasta? I swear to God, if it's the Vaporeon one. You've gone, what, 40 minutes? And you're like, I have to wait to post it. Pick different breeds of the evolution. See a lot of water. Yeah. The cells are nice and happy full of water. Okay, let me do the spikes. I'm glad OBS hasn't crashed. It was crashing before when I was doing testing. Looks like it learned better. It learned better? It knew better? It knew better. Better. You and I'm like, let me add the values. Adds like a single value, and that's it. So much of it for an underpainting. Big haunch right here, and then like the leg right here. Sort of. I usually just do stuff like layer by layer. Like I rarely just do everything all at once. Like a lot of my painting peers, a lot of them would like, because some of the assignments were like, oh, recreate like this masterpiece. Or like do like paint from a photo, which is like when you paint from a photo in our specific like class that we were in, the prof was really lax, so it didn't have to look like the photo. It was more like about learning. Look what this tail looks like here. But when it came to like recreating a master artwork, a lot of people would talk about, like in the critique section when we were done, they would be like, oh, you know, I had a lot of struggles with this because I would mix all my paint on my palette and I would do it here. And then like recreating the paint, the next session was really difficult or whatever. And no one really said anything about it. I mean, sometimes I think a few people were told like, oh, you probably didn't have to. But like in general, I felt like a lot of like the ones where it was people where I was like the works that they chose, I was like, maybe you should have tried without. mixing every single color that you see, right? Because some of them were doing like Monet's like plein air, like plein air paintings where he just does it live. And I doubt he was cooking up
Hey guys,
colors.
did you know that in terms of male human and female Pokemon breeding, gimme that?
Give me that. You didn't even finish. Did you know? Every Vaporeon fan is like, you know it's coming. You know it. One color at a time and use resealable plastic containers to save your paints. Yeah, that's really, really useful to do. But I do think some people, it's too long. You could have just like done some of it. I should remember what the limit I have set for the TTSs. But yeah, it was like some people, like if the goal or the assignment was to, was to recreate a master's work, I think learning how to do 500, certainly it could have gone halfway through for 500. It should have, like they should have, certainly it would help to do like, just like color mixing on the canvas instead of actually doing it. I don't know. Fruit cups from a food service store are perfect for mixing in and saving colors. Fruit cups. I never thought about fruit cups. I always use like the little like dollar store ones, or like bead things, like for bead crafts and stuff. Those also do very well. How goes? It'd be going. Painting this Vaporeon. I don't have to be super neat with this. Let's start adding more red to it. $250 to $500 per tree, cheap. Whoa, that's really thinking ahead. That'd be really good for like a classroom. And then they would never get returned or reused. I guess it would depend, but it sounds useful for the studio. Actual red on here. Acrylic so dries fast you don't reseal. Yeah, for sure. Something like acrylic, you have to worry about it a ton. I've not used acrylic in many years at this point. By many, I mean 3, I think. Not that I painted very much before, though. They like start here. It's too sharp. But I've been really into oil. I when I paint with oil though, I paint super dry. Like I've not, you guys seen, I've not been like splashing or nothing. There are people who do a lot of like medium and like Gamsol. I keep it very, very dry when I paint because I have more control over it that way. And I like having control. I would have control. Some shit like that. And some blue.
Unibear 141.0 Unibear 141.0 Unibear 141.0
141.0. Thank you, Noel. Thank you. I have my hand out. Do you miss the canvas at all? No. I think it would be a nightmare if I did. I'd be working against the water. Because yeah, you can be all loosey-goosey with it if it's like a nice wet on wet. But then to me, it's like, I also like keeping some nice like canvas white like there to show through. And I have more control of leaving some canvas white if I can control and not like worry about dripping too much. For this particular one, I don't have to worry about too much, but still. I never thought about misting it though. That's actually a really good idea. I've only ever done like just a big wash with like Gamsol. Let me pull out a blue. Maybe I'm thinking about doing a green, but it's like a very strong green. I shouldn't use it. This green, my prof was just like, oh, you guys can take whatever that's on the table. And I was like, okay, I'll take this one. They don't have a green. I usually just mix green, but it's like super, super, super strong. It's like a very like, transparent. Like it has a lot of opacity to it, but it's very strong, very strong. A spray bottle like for breath spray works. Interesting. I have to think about that. I'm gonna be using, I just opened the top of it already. This French ultramarine. This is me and this French ultramarine. We're like this. Like this. We're tight. That's my homie right there. I use this fucking color for everything. I have like 3 tubes of this thing. It's so good. What I should be using, now that I think about it, I should be using my cerulean. Hold on, do I even have any more of that? I do. This cerulean, also a very commonly used color, but usually just to top up the ultramarine. Semi-opaque from Liquitex has real nice ocean sort of blue. Beautiful. I love a good blue. But you can go very, very, very far with ultramarine. I think I don't remember if that's what I had originally, but I think my prof recommended it. Color bias, I do have a bias. My professor, when I would do a bunch of paintings, I would do a lot of just blue and red, and I would mix from there. And she was like, you know, like, what's your reason for using blue and red? Like, because one of the works was like focused on colors, and I just used blue and red for it, and it looked like a very scary painting because like very dramatic shadows. It was called Light and Shadow, like the assignment, and I used blue and red, and it looked very scary. And she was like, you know, you use those 2 colors a lot. Is there a reason for that? And I was like, no. But I think it's because my brain, because you know when you're doing like actual color theory stuff, and you have to think about like the colors that you're using and like how like basically like the color palette, it's much easier for my brain to comprehend just 2 colors than to start adding like other colors. I'll add a third one, usually just to make a contrast, but 2 colors is really all I ever need. You asked me to draw a nice green forest. Why is it blue and red? When did you ask me that? A nice green forest. Why is it blue and red? Before I even put, if you asked me to draw a forest now, I would have put blue and red on it before I even touched green. I'm not even kidding. You're right. You're right. I would put blue on it, and I'll probably do a little bit of red, and then I would put green on it. Especially if it's like this green, where it's like this color green, because it's so, again, it shows a lot of what's underneath, but it's also a very, very strong green. It will literally like poison anything it touches. Color theory whatsoever. I think a lot of the color theory I've learned, or like my understanding of it, is very basic. And I know that if I stray from 2 colors, 3 if I'm feeling crazy, 3 if I'm feeling crazy, if I stray from that, I'm gonna get lost very, very, very quickly. But this color is cool with this color. And that's basically it. I think a lot of like children, I read this book in high school, just years ago, that my art teacher at the time had, and it was very, very helpful. I think I like looked up a PDF of it online afterwards if I could find it. And I like took pictures of, pages I really, really thought were good. But it was about drawing, but it was talking about how kids have like a very, very strong understanding of composition. Let me get a drier brush. Have a very strong understanding of composition even before they're taught like how to do art. Like they just kind of figure it out. This paintbrush is not good for this. And I think that sort of is true with some color too. I think kids have a good sense of color theory. Like once you start getting like older and you start like getting more ideas and stuff, you sort of like lose it. And I think a lot of it just has to come from, there's like a nice paintbrush here. A lot of it has to come from, because you know people understand visually pleasant things, right? Like that's like a very innate thing. I think it's like once people start getting curious, I got paint on my mic stand, or like wanting to be different or whatever, or like, I don't know, you add too many numbers, it gets hard. I'm just gonna use the Gammy brush on this. It's gonna be a light little color. A little bit of a wash, quote unquote. The very smallest wash ever. Painting a blue Pokemon, the outline is pink. Yeah. Wait, but it's pink shiny, so like even then that's fine. Mixing so many cheap paints, yeah. I don't go for expensive paints either. Especially since I didn't really know what I was doing, and now I have a bunch of cheaper paints. I don't know. I've not I feel like once you experience expensive paint, you're like, whoa, right? But I've not experienced expensive paint, so I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Less is more, yeah. But red and blue call her Gen 1. Oh my god. Bars. A little bit of red on this. Some blue on this. Very, very Pokemon themed. Much darker. It's fine. This area would be dark anyway. I need to figure out a light source. Like, where's it coming from? Like here in this corner? Paint is paint if you can use it. Exactly. You'll see a lot of videos online of like people being like, I created whatever with just Crayola crayons or whatever, right? And usually a lot of the trouble you would have with cheaper materials anyway, it's just like a lot of it is binding. It's not a lot of pigment. So if you really were just like adamant about using cheaper materials, you would just probably have to keep at it. Or like know its strengths and weaknesses, and like you can make like high level artworks with just cheaper stuff. A Build-A-Bear certificate? Yes! Can you guess whose it is? It's my Vaporeon. I'm serious about this Vaporeon shit. Y'all don't even know. It's my Build-A-Bear Vaporeon's birth certificate. I haven't given it a name. I don't know if I want to write on it. On the certificate. I should, but there's no address on certificate. No, I ordered it online. That'd be like crazy if they were like, here is your Vaporeon's birth certificate. It lives on, and then puts your full fucking address, and it like assigns a social security number, or like they know yours somehow, and they just like put it on there for some reason. All it says is the date of birth, which is like, I guess when I would have gotten it, but it was shipped to me. And then it has its full name, which I didn't write in because it doesn't have a full name yet. And then it has its height, which is 12 inches. Its weight is 14 ounces. Its eye color is black, and its fur color is royal blue. And it says it belongs to, you can put your little name on it. And then it has the signature of the founder of Build-A-Bear. And then it has an ID number section in the corner. You can't really see it. I don't know what that would be. Like what that would actually be, an ID number. Sylveon will be forever your favorite. Sylveon's so cute. That was like a fantastic addition to the EVs. It's so cute. Acrylic paint retains color really well if you use a matte coat after to seal it. I assume any oil would if you glaze it too. Yeah, I actually, when the semester ended, we have like the oil painting like locker where we keep all the chemicals and stuff because it's stinky and flammable. But the prof was like, you know what, like this summer I'm gonna have the department like replace some old stuff, and I think we need to clean out the locker so you guys can like look in the locker and just take whatever you want. I said, fucking say less. I went in there. I was the first person out of everyone to go in there and like look through the stuff, because oil painting stuff is like expensive, especially if I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know if I want to spend this much money on something I don't even know what it's gonna do. It had some medium, which is very lucky because I was running out, and then it had some, what's it called, varnish. Like the locker had like I think like 4 or 5 completely full like tin like bottles of varnish, and I was like, whoa. I grabbed one because I was like, I don't think I need to get 2. I don't think it's that serious. You name it Kamathan. Kamathan. I wonder. Kamathan. A little bit more thingy on this. Kamathan. It's it doesn't quite roll off the tongue. Not quite. It's sort of cute. But then it's literally just my name. My Vaporeons, I think my 2 that I've ever had, that I've usually reused the nickname throughout generations, is V and Mar. V and Mar. I think V is the older name. V and Mar are my Vaporeons in my games. Kameathan. 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 That sounds like ancient. That's like a legendary name. The legendary Kameathan. I assume this blue's okay. It just looks weird because the other thing is not dark. Kameathan. I just realized my window's open. My fucking neighbors can hear my shit. It's alright. I need to leave the window open when I'm painting because it stinks. Kamehameha. Wow. Wow. The other name was just Kevin Durant. Okay, why? Just thinking about Kevin Durant. Looks up dreamingly with sparkly eyes. Sighs wistfully. Ah, Kevin Durant. Is that what you were thinking? Was that you like a second ago? So yeah, I'm basically being the trans cycles on purpose or not. It'd be very cute if it was. And there's no one stopping you from thinking so anyway. Those colors go beautifully together regardless. But it's a very, very cute detail. Like this. This is ear. I'm all ears. This is frail, so this is body right here. Body. You're stopping you in my brainwaves, baby. How dare you? How dare you stop me with your brainwaves, bro? Very much your head kind of out of their way, which only affirmed your love for them. Yeah. Super cute. Put this way. There's like 5 hiccups so far. 6. Always when it's mentioned. There's more colors, but also Japan is really conservative. Gay marriage was only still allowed there or something to that effect. It depends on they're not states, the prefectures, and then even then the wards of like each city. They can have their own say if gay marriage is legal or not. So even if like one part of like the state, if you will, says it's okay, another one is gonna be like, nope. So it really just depends on what part you're on. It's definitely not legal across the board. I'm pretty sure. Sneeze, not a hiccup. One of those, achoo, excuse me. One of those sneezes. I don't think I sneeze like that. I'm not also like an old man either. You know those fucking old dudes or like a baby? Who will win? Old man coughing or not old baby, or a baby coughing? Both of them are like atomic bombs in their own right. They're so fucking loud. The old men don't care because they're too old to care. They're like, I don't give a fuck, you whatever, right? And the baby literally doesn't know that it's not okay to do that, so it just does it. I think it's extra gross when babies do it though, because they will literally like open their mouth so wide, like they will like almost ensure that you're next door too, that you're right there. They do not care. Old men sort of just like look away, but it's still like insanely loud, at the least. Coughing baby versus coughing man. Nintendo might still own its love hotels. Love hotels are so cool. I've been really into going to, because like every now and then I'll like pick up a different sleeping habit, and my recent sleeping habit is looking at travel videos in Japan, specifically from like a couple channels, but one of them is like food focused, called Dancing Bacons. I recommend that channel, Dancing Bacons, like a food channel. They go through primarily a lot of Asia. But they've been doing a lot of like love hotel videos, and like the theming of a lot of the love hotels is so silly. Like they just got money to do that. Like I guess it works. Like that sort of place can stay open. You fuck heavily with old dudes coughing and it sounds like a motorcycle. Who's louder, the old man or his motorcycle? To sneeze with their mouth and their nose. Yeah, I'm sure that has to hurt. That cannot be good. Wants to go to a love hotel? It would depend. I just want to see the weirdness. But actually, I don't like leaving my house, so I probably would not care that much to go. There's no point in going. I have no reason to be there, you know? So why the fuck would I go? For the cheap? It is very cheap. if you go for a few hours. One love hotel that was a rocket ship theme, like a sci-fi space. Yeah, they have all sorts of themes. I saw one, I think the one on the Dancing Bacon's channel that was recent. They went to a dinosaur themed one. They're very like not shady, but they're very like isolated places because the whole point is like to have like privacy for the customer because they don't want to know your business, and it's like you're probably like cheating on your wife anyway. So, so they just like there's a lot of like unmanned or like not like looking at the people who run it. And so it was just scary sort of looking or like weird shady to like to see it, and it's like there's not a soul there and it's just you, like not even other customers. Like they do a lot to try to mitigate like customers seeing each other. Something interesting you see in different videos about them as well. Yeah, there was a cute Yuri where it was like these two girls go to different love hotels and they like review them or stuff. I don't remember how it went. I think it was being translated a little bit, and then it just stopped being translated, I think. And then it was just like the author posting it on Twitter, or like showing on like whatever like Japanese manga site that like does like weekly releases or something was on there. But I don't remember what it was called. I think it literally just has something similar of a name. Unfaithful activities in My Hotel of Love shut the whole place down. Bro, it's built on unfaithful activities. If it wasn't for unfaithful activities, love hotels would not have business. At least not the same amount of business. Is it all the spots in Japan that are featured in NAC Shadows and Apologize on Western's behalf? I think those sort of like pilgrimages are so cool. I was because I've been reading Umineko somewhat recently. I have not caught up, or not caught up. That series is old as hell. I have not continued in a little bit, but I'd seen what was it, like a picture of someone like they were cosplaying, and then someone quoted it and it was like, is that the fucking house from Umineko? And I looked it up, and there's like the guest house in the game is like based off a real like garden in Tokyo that has like a Western mansion in it. I was like, oh, that's cool. And I was like, if I did ever go and like I cared enough, like that would be a cool thing to go and take pictures of. The only thing that was weird is that there's not that many videos of the house inside. So I guess maybe you're not allowed to go inside, but I want to see what it looks like inside because that's where they go in the game. It's inside. I want to see what the house looks like. Fan gay couples though, yeah, for sure. For sure. For sure. A love hotel, there's no love involved. Sins of their flesh, there's no love and carnal desire. Yeah. What else? Oh yeah, and then I looked up like, oh, what the island is based off of that they have on Umineko, and it was like a series of islands. And so I went on Google Maps and I just like walked around, and I was like, yeah, this shit's scary. Like I wouldn't want to live on an island. Like everything, like the Google map like went through like a trail, and it was so undeveloped. I was like, how did the fucking cameraman do this with the Google camera strapped to its back? Like, I was like, oh my god. Like, no wonder, like, in the story, there's like a section where they talk about the kids like being told not to go into the forest because there's all sorts of like wolves and stuff. And at the time, it was like, I think wolves in Japan were extinct anyway, the Japanese wolf, or like they were dying out. But regardless, like they had no way of corroborating that because the foliage was so thick and like untamed on the island. And like I could imagine that, but like actually going on Google Maps and like going through like the trail, I'm like, yeah, I could totally believe that there's like weird ass animals in this island because it's so dense. Tsunami Central, that's for sure. Fukushima, that's the one with the plague of ghost sightings. It's funny. I feel like Japan is a very ghost rich country. Especially where, like, I'm of the belief where it's like, if you believe it, then it's for real. And, like, as a country, they generally believe it. So, it's not surprising. This is body, this is body. Okay, this is body, this is body. Let me start going dark. For everything, yeah. The religion, the old school religion, has a belief that everything has a soul, more or less. Every little guy. My gloves are all gross. I hope you can't see them that gross. Sort of see it. The nuclear meltdown and a tsunami. No, yeah, that definitely has some charged activity. If you believe in supernatural stuff in that specific flavor. yokai can be real goofy or real scary. Yeah. I was like thinking about it where it's like there's the Hanako one where it's like the ghost in the toilet where you go and it's like, are you gonna pick the blue toilet paper or the red toilet paper? And it's like you're dead either way. And I was like, what's the point of that? You're dead either way. Like, what the fuck? But it's not like the ghost is like rationalizing anything. But it's like very much one of those things where it's like, okay, well, what's the point? If you're gonna die anyway, you're screwed. So, whatever. Eat their rank, let's see faces of the drowned people in puzzles. Puzzles? Puddles. No, yeah, I'm sure the association alone of knowing that many people died. I think what they say here in the US, that, what is it? The field of Gettysburg? Like at the Battle of Gettysburg or whatever, I think is that one. Like that Civil War fight. Like that area is like that battlefield is like has a lot of ghost sightings to it. Sorry, maybe I should do this brush again. Vindictive, it can't be reasoned with too. That makes sense. I start thinking like, if I was a ghost, would I be like that? I guess it would just depend on your life. But it doesn't seem like a lot of the ghosts that are like based off of like past life people, like this was a person in its past life. It doesn't seem like they had a reason to be forgiving, so I don't blame them. This way. Towers got some ghosts from 9/11. I still remember when that happened. I don't remember if I've seen any sort of. You know, people love doing ghost hunting. Let's see if I remember ever seeing someone mention doing like ghost stuff at 9/11. I feel like 9/11 is like such a impactful thing to everyone in the country that maybe it would be seen as extra unsavory to do. But I'm sure there have been people who have been like have said or have gone ghost hunting, if you will, ghost looking. Bad taste, yeah. Clip. Oh crap! Clip. Up. I always try the top fin super long. Maybe someday. I'm sure there's people who have done it though. Around there's a ton of security, so I doubt anyone would be allowed to actually do this hunt. Yeah, for sure they wouldn't be able to just go around snooping. I feel like at most people would be able to just like bring a medium or some sort of clairvoyant or psychic or whatever and like speak with them in regards to what they're doing. But I don't think there's really any point like bringing gear. I know my cousin was attention user 9/11. He said 9/11, clip it. 9/11 was filmed. They don't need my clip. It was filmed. Oh, speaking of things like tragedies that were filmed, there was a video where this guy was talking about how he had seen the Challenger disaster on TV growing up, and then but you can't find footage of it online. And me and my sister were like, is that true? That you can't find footage of it? And so she had done some looking and she was like, yeah, I can't find footage of it. And we were just like, and like the topic that the guy was talking about was how with like the internet now, where a lot of things are live streamed, like TV events, stuff like that. Like even like when there's like a really I guess important like event going on, they'll like stream it online too, not just like on cable. So if something were to happen now, the odds of someone capturing it online and like saving it are much higher than before. But even then, you'll never know when like there just happened to be no one recording the live stream that day. You know, stuff like that. Just a lot of food for thought, I suppose. Reserve ghost hunting to older places with no relatives still living. Yeah. Or if they are relatives, it's like generations upon generations type of thing. Like, oh, my great grandfather was a murderer or something like that sort of stuff. That day, and went to your mom going, Mom, a lot of people died too, which horrified your mom as to why your math class is shown. I mean, it was really, I mean, there's a reason why to this day people don't forget it. because you should never forget, right? But it was like so unimaginable that like even if a teacher like had the little TV or something or a radio on right, and they're like, oh, I heard there's something going on, let me check, and they have all the kids there. It's not like the teacher knew what was going to happen, especially when the second one happened, right, where it was like the first tower was hit and then they kept the cameras on in the second one, right, and like the teacher wasn't going to know that, right? So kids were, it was so unprecedented. I don't think teachers really were all in were thinking about what if the kids see, right? Like, because they wanted to see. It was a very historical moment, to say the least, and tragic. Plus, they couldn't have known. Yeah, the desire, the fear of like not knowing what's going on and wanting to see what happened. Because like, what if it really, really like got to your area, or like was like very even bigger than what it was? Like you want to see. So what death was? You were only in the 3rd grade. Yeah, 3rd grade is very young. 3rd grade would be. Would that be an age? I think 1st grade is like. Is 1st grade like 5? In my head it was 3rd grade would be like what, 8 or 9? 8, yeah, 8. That was around the time when I was thinking about death too, but it wasn't because of 9/11. Kids usually just reach conclusions or like thinking about death around that age. Something like 9/11 definitely would have sped it up though. Cat of the Universe, hello. Y'all white as hell? What? Were you not thinking about death when you were 8 to 7 years old? Sans 9/11 or any other tragedy? Or whatever year you were that age. No? What was your first encounter? You definitely was. I feel like it's like one of those things where it's in the background. Like I remember not being able to sleep, or I was just in my bed trying to sleep, like a regular day, like nothing happened, like it was like an uneventful day. But I started thinking a little bit, and I was like, I'm gonna die. And then I was like I don't want to die. And then like I just thought about it for that whole night, and like I woke up and I had to go to school. An arts and crafts project the next day. I had to go to sleep. Probably was, but only because you learned about 9/11. Yeah, if that was like your like age group at the time, that definitely would have been part of the conversation. Like no ifs or buts about. Going to a funeral was when you thought about it. Were you young when you went to a funeral though, or were you like a little bit older? I guess some people really just don't think about it till later. It just depends on what's in your house. Where's the thing about it? You have a sick family member. Yeah, that'll definitely do it. Is older than me? No. I'm just being intentionally vague. You can believe I'm older than you if you want. You can also believe that I'm not. You can also believe that I'm 0 years old. And I was just phased into existence, into this universe. Hello. Hi. Believe whatever you want to believe, as long as it's nice and flattering. And always been a hag. Yeah, until I say, but when I win a 20v1, I lose a negative 1,000 aura points. But when I tell me what a hag is quoting that shit for real. What middle-aged woman is quoting these weird ass things that even you young ones don't know? I'm not old. 1,000,000 years old. I'm a dinosaur. Rawr. Trying to be hip with the kids. I feel like even if you were like, you would have to have like very specific, like if you were like a teacher or something, like a middle school teacher or maybe an elementary school teacher, maybe high school. I feel like certain trends aren't very common among high schoolers. I feel like you would really have to go home and do your homework if like a kid quoted something in class and you're like, I don't know what that is. Like you would have to go home and look at your homework. Because you know what? Speaking of weird things that kids do, my honorary little brother was talking to my sister, and she was saying that he told her about a fashion trend, quote unquote trend, right? That was going around. I need a sticky note because I don't have good control over my computer right now. Sharpie. Here you go. about like a little trend going on, and I was like, oh yeah, that's like a proper trend because it was so ridiculous. But people would basically like, you can't see me, but I'm drawing on a sticky note right now. But these kids would basically wear a hoodie as if they didn't finish putting it on. And he was like, dude, this is so stupid. Like, I can't believe they're actually doing that. Let me see. Like a hoodie like this. Here's like hoodie. There's like hat, like one of those short sleeve hoodies. Here's the hand, and here's like their other hand. Their pants, got shorts on. Color in their shorts looks strange. This Sharpie's very bad. Alright. Like a crop top, sort of. It's gonna look more ridiculous than that. You see it? Like this. Looks like it. Where it's like they legit didn't finish putting on the hoodie. And it's just like hanging, like the other sleeve is like hanging off their shoulder. And it just looks so uncomfortable. But apparently this is like legit what people are doing. And then my sister looked it up and she sent videos of people doing this. Mind you, the people doing it weren't like in middle school. They were like grown ass 20 something year olds doing it. But they were in fashion, like very like, they're into vintage clothing because it's better, right? But well, they're like I don't know. It was, I just put my entire water bottle on the floor. Okay, hold on. I have to clean that. I spilled my entire water bottle on the floor. I'm not even joking. I have hardwood floors. That's gonna fucking dude. Oh, I have paper towels here. Thank goodness. That actually reminds me of a story. I don't remember if I said this story before. I'm gonna be intermittently cleaning this. But you guys ever do like the egg drop like test thing? Like in middle school, or I guess high schools do it too, but I did it in middle school. Did it wear capes? That's definitely what it looked like. Like the egg drop test where you have to like make something to protect the egg when you drop it, like in science or whatever. My class was doing that, and we had all finished it, and we were going to a place to drop the eggs, right? It was like a second story of the school. And there was this one kid in the class who was like kind of like the bad kid. He wasn't a bad person. He was just like very like not focused on school. But he was like kind of like the troublemaker. And he, I guess, had one of the eggs that he was holding, and he dropped it on like the pavement, right? And so he dropped it, and like naturally, it's like, oh, we have to clean that because it's out in the outside, and people, it's gonna get gross and nasty or whatever, right? And actually close his water bottle before it spills again. Try not to put it on the floor this time. But he had to go clean it up, and the teacher was like, "Here, have these paper towels to clean it." And she gave him the paper towels, and the way that he picked it up or went about it was that he basically like smeared it side to side, and she was like, "Oh my god, you're supposed to pick it up." And then she went over and she showed him how to do it, like basically like crumble, or like basically like grab like the egg and the yolk instead of smearing it side to side. And the reason I remember that is because I never really 100% thought about how you pick things up and how much of a difference it would make. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, smearing it would make a mess. Yeah. And that was one of my memories that I have in my head that I remember very, very clearly, because I was like, yeah. I was like young enough, because like middle school, I was like young enough where a lot of stuff was like getting hardwired in my brain, and that was one of them. Okay, I think I cleaned it pretty well. Mind expansion, yeah. You learn it at home, but you recall it. I don't recall it ever learning at home. Core memory, yeah. I was like, whoa, that is how it works. Totally. Ew. Hands all dirty. Wait, I'm putting my like other glove on. Or I get paint on these gloves. Cleaning egg feels very moment of mindfulness. Because it sucks to break an egg. It really does. It's so messy and then you get yelled at and you're like, because it is messy. So everyone knows that it's messy. So they're extra hard on you about cleaning it. Which is what happened in that case. No worries when dogs are around. They get a little treat. I try to be real nice to be a dog and just like eat whatever the fuck falls on the floor. And you don't care if it kills you. What's it matter? The dog's baba, so true. That's gross. You're right. I don't think I could ever have a dog. They're too much maintenance. They stink. I'm sorry, they stink. Nothing can ever remove a dog's smell because that's like their natural musk. And some people like it. I don't like it. One hand cracking. Whoa. It reminds me of thinking of like eggs in middle school. There was like a. Actually, this wasn't middle school. I think it was high school, but it doesn't matter. I had to do a cooking project with a friend who happened to live like within walking distance, but it was a little bit of a walk, but it was walking distance. And it was like a 3-person project. And we all like delegated what ingredients we would bring. And for me, it was the eggs. I think it was me just needed a single egg for it. And I walked to their house with an egg in my pocket. And I showed up and they were like, where's the egg? And I was like, here, it's in my pocket. And they found it so funny. They're like, you really walked all the way over here with an egg in your pocket? And I was like, yeah. Yeah. I think I put the glove on wrong. It's all weird. You want a cat? Cats are so cute. I think they're way worth it in comparison to a dog. It's a different vibe. You'd be like a little bit more independent. Some cats are very not independent, but I think most of them tend to be sort of. I don't know. I speak their language, so it's fine. I understand cats. I don't understand dogs. The Peter Griffin falls down with the egg all over you. I was very careful. I felt like I was like, okay, I have an egg on me. I had to be very careful. And I walked. I didn't run. I walked. A nice little light walk across the town. One is needy, one independent. Yeah, that seems to be like the ratio for cats. Like I've not been doing a lot of painting. I know I have been, but it just feels like not. I've been doing this for an hour and then some. It feels like I have not. I used to paint very slow. There'll be days where you won't see a single thing on the canvas like progress properly, but then if you take a before and after picture, you'll see like there is actually a lot of difference. But it's just not noticeable if you don't see the details or like have them noted before and after. Please. Move this glove inside out. It's so weird. Maybe I'll get another one. A private dog trainer for a breeder before it had dogs and cats for over years. I feel like by then, you probably sure as hell know which one you prefer. If you've been with both of them. Must have been a cat in your past life. You very much understand how a cat feels. Yeah. I think a lot of people are more cat-based. Because it's like, I think it's like the concept of like everyone is like different, like extroverts versus introverts. I think a lot of people struggle to empathize with cats because they're just not like them at all. So they can't even empathize with them. At least 2 single things on the canvas, you're right. An Evie and a Vaporeon. Our buddy's dog ears were back and he was relaxed. I thought he was gonna attack me because cats do that when they're peeved. Yeah. But apparently, because Min had asked, is like, is your dog gonna, like, is he okay? Is he mad? And he's like, no, he's like actually super relaxed. Because when dogs put their ears back, apparently they're like relaxed. But when a cat does that, it means you're gonna get bit. Or like hissed at. Or jumped on. I also, because like he's a very cute dog and he's very well behaved, but it just looks weird to me when his ears are back. Because I was like, what is he thinking when his ears are back? Because like to me that's like a very active stage of thought, but he's relaxed, so it's actually the opposite. He's like not thinking at all. He is not thinking. Not that he thinks very much to begin with, though. He's a very weird dog. Off his long shift at work, there's a temptation to go to bed early. Yeah, go to sleep. Going to bed when you actually want to go to bed is like actually like so nice. I love going to sleep when I'm sleepy. It's so nice. This. More subtle in their cues, yeah. I feel like a lot of people don't realize that. So you'll get like dog owners they're like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong, and it's like it's because I don't think you're listening to your dog. I'll see like a lot of videos. This is not even a dog, it's a monkey, but I'll see videos of like monkeys. And people they're like on repost accounts or like on accounts that like just repost them and there's no captions. But like people in the video will like approach the monkey and the monkey like is clearly like showing signs of aggression and like are going to attack them because their personal space is being invaded. And like people in the video or like in the comments be like, oh, funny monkey, like whatever. And I'm like, oh my god, that monkey's gonna kill the cameraman. Like it really just is about speaking the language of the animal. Dogs 55 or 45 cats need to do more with. That's true. If you're more like an active person, then a dog is definitely the way to go. There's this account on TikTok. Probably, I think he has like Instagram and stuff too. But he, a working breed, and they love to wear a backpack during walks. Ah, yeah. If there's like a dog that is like a working breed, and I see them, like there's a video like one of those like when I was watching those like hotel like Japanese like tourism videos or whatever. One of them, a lady went to a like dog like a small homestay like cafe like small like local type of not hostel but just like a place to stay, but it was like small, and like the appeal of it was that they had dogs. They had Akitas. And the Akitas, they go on walks in the morning and in the evening. But like during the day, they just kind of sit around. And I was like, I mean, I'm sure they're very happy to sit around because like who doesn't love chilling? But in my head, I'm like, those dogs should be going to work. Like, those are very big dogs, and they're like meant to be doing a little bit more activity, maybe. I don't know. There's some dogs where I'm like, your ass should be working. And they love working too, because like that's in their genetic makeup. It just depends on the dog. What was I saying? Oh yeah, there's a guy online because he has multiple platforms, but he is like one of many people who like breeds Bengal cats, which are basically domestic cats that are mixed with wild cats. I guess the equivalent would be like a wolf dog, but it's a cat. And he breeds them, and he is in that world where like it's seen as like a luxury rich person thing, and he basically just walks around with his like personal cat like on him on the streets of a city, like wherever he's traveling. And people will stop him because the coats of like a Bengal cat are like super wild. I mean, they're basically wild cats, like to some extent, like depending on like what they are, like they basically should be working. Like some of those cats should be running, chasing stuff. Like they should not be inside. But the coat is exotic, right? So people stop him and they're like, whatever. And he's like basically advertising his breeding, which is fine, I guess. But it just feels nasty. I don't know. Something about him like pimping out his cat, being like, I'm taking my cat out because it gives me business. Which is fine, I get it, but I don't know. It's because those cats are really high maintenance, and a lot of people don't really have the resources to do that. And the people who are stopping him aren't rich. Like they're just like common folk who like the allure of like the look of the cat. And these cats are expensive, right? And like he also has like a thing where he like rents out the cats for like music videos and stuff because again they look exotic, and it's like that's fine, I guess, but I don't know. I just think this feels icky about it. Like the wild animal harvest, they cause a lot of trouble. They do. They really do. I don't know, those cats should be doing a lot. In shelters, yeah. Because they're basically wild animals. Like they have a lot of demands and needs. The same reason why an actual wild animal shouldn't be a pet. Like a hybrid animal really shouldn't be one either. don't know. I like cats too much to like respect and like respect what he does. AKA, I don't really particularly respect it too much. Because he's just showing it off, and people are like, "Whoa, like that's like a cool, like, it's like a thing." And I'm like, "That's not a thing. That's a little guy. That's a little guy, and he shouldn't be doing this stuff." I don't know. I like cats too much. Wolf hybrids, and they are very odd. I feel bad for them. Yeah. Hella unrelated, but somewhat related. I just saw a clip of one of the later Balto movies. You guys ever seen Balto? It was like a animated film based off a true story of like a wolf. I don't know what the actual true story is, like exactly. I read it before, but I can't remember if he was an actual wolf or just a wolf hybrid. But I guess he is a wolf hybrid in the movie too. But he's like a wolf dog who like runs the, like it was at a time where was it in Anchorage? Was that like the city it was? In like a place in Alaska needed medicine. And he was one of the dogs that like ran the sled to transport medicine to all the people. The movie's very good. I would recommend it. But later in like the sequels, he has kids with the husky that he meets in that movie. This is not real life anymore, by the way. That's just the movie. But there's like a part where the daughter is like trying to figure out who she is, because she has like feelings of like wanting to howl and like a lot of wolf stuff, but she refuses to say that she's a wolf but she also knows like that it's like it's probably part of her. It's very interesting, like that sort of like knowing, like not knowing what you are, but you feel it, like you feel that you're something else. That makes sense to me. Sequels I remember a bit less. I don't remember very much of them at all either, the sequels. The first one's very good though. I would recommend it. But yeah, like that whole like like hybrid animals have traits of the wild animal, so they have like the desire to act like it, but they have conflicting stuff for it. Especially if the environment's conflicting, like they don't have like the pastures to run or whatever. It's so cute, something like that, something of the sort. I don't know, I'm gonna do this Eevee. I was like, I'm damn near just gonna paint it blue. To the eye. Gotta be careful with this. Actually, let me use the other brush because it's gonna get real thin. Like wolves, but let's get attention. They weigh 106 pounds, want to climb you like a 50 pound dog. No, yeah. They need special conditions. They need special conditions. You'll never find a person that can really handle cuddles like that from a huge dog. It's dangerous too. My aunt has like a huge dog. I actually don't know what the breed is. When it was a puppy, it looked like a sort of like a golden retriever, like that sort of like dog. Those are working dogs too, though. Oh, love for kitty for me. Blushes for me. Can I blush? I don't think I can. For me. Thank you. Thank you for the visceral. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Keeps forever. They should be in the wild. Yeah. Too little bit. This is why I like the underpainting, because now I can have a little bit of a beautiful red shine on the eye. I'm not careful. I erase it though. There you go. Trying to show any brush strokes there. Oh my god, that's so cute. But yeah, she has a big ass dog, and it was like, now I honestly think it's some sort of mutt, like for sure, but it's huge. And like, it recently was like, I guess she was in a bad position. Hi, okay. I'll try not to spill water on the floor again. She was like in a bad position, like she lost her balance, and like the dog basically like knocked her nose, and she had to like go to the ER because it was huge. These dogs are huge. Like when we have to like go feed it because if they're out for the town, like we go as like an entire family. We go as an entire family because the dog is so powerful that we're like, okay, no one can be alone with these dogs ever. Like they're so dangerous. I think a lot of people just have creatures like basically monsters like that in their backyard that they just don't like train. It's kind of rough. That's why I could never have a dog, because if I did have a dog, I would like run that shit like the Navy. It would not be allowed to do anything unless I trained it. If it was big. But even small dogs need training. That's like a very common thing that you'll see. Like people have like chihuahuas or like very small dogs and they don't train them because they don't think they need it. But if anything, those smaller dogs need a lot of training because they're smaller. All dogs should have training. I think it's good. And I think it's enjoyable too if they can learn tricks and stuff. I think dogs like when they use their brain. I think they like the work. Hey. Nice to have a purpose. The one thing I can't, the one thing that's so crazy about dogs too, like you'll see videos of people like feeding their dogs online just because it's cute or whatever. Oh, look at my dog, or like the video will be about like the dog's diet. But like what I can't get over is like the way the dogs eat, like they've never eaten before. They've never even heard of food. They'll be so eager for the food, and then they'll eat it in like less than a second, and then they're like, they forgot what it was, and they're just craving it again. It's like it's so interesting to me. Like they'll eat like they've never eaten a day in their life. Hello. They trained your cats and taught them to sit and jump. Oh, I think cats also would enjoy that purpose. My cat, my main cat, my first cat, because I had two. He was smart enough to learn tricks, but he also was smart enough to ignore them because it wasn't convenient for him. And I guess that's like a personality thing, right? Because not all dogs are like trainable in that same way. Because like there's a lot of like, what is it, like the puppies or like dogs who go through training to be service animals, like they'll flunk service school because they learn all these things, or maybe only learn some of it, but then like they start like deviating from like the actual like command and stuff, or they use it against or like they use it in their own personal favor. It's very silly, but they're very smart, so it makes sense why some of them would be smart enough to just be like, thanks for the knowledge, now I can learn to open the fridge for food for myself, stuff like that. But there are very, very food motivated cats. My cat just wasn't particularly food motivated, so it was a little bit harder to do the treats and stuff. Much more about interaction than most cats. It's really situational, yeah. So cute. Definitely not gonna finish this, but I can do my best. Stream for a little bit. Maybe I'll hit 2 hours and that'll be it. I might do the math and stuff after, but I can like actually put the canvas up to me because that's gonna be weird or hard to do. Fantastic, thank you. The pink under painting was a good shot, a good thing. IMO. I also like the sort of like texture that my dry brush gave it. You can kind of see it on the thing. I love dry brushing. Maybe I should give the Eevee a little bit of blue, maybe? I don't know. A little bit, maybe. Here's a fin. Here's a fin here. Maybe I'll put a little bit of Gammy on this. Just a little bit. A little Gammy don't hurt. Gam. It's my Gam. It's my Swampa. Hey, but have you have a P.O. box? I do not have a P.O. box. I've been thinking about getting one, but I was just wondering where I should get it. I was like, I don't want it too local, but I don't want it too far either. But I have been wanting to get one. That wonder's been there for years at this point. So who knows if it'll happen. I mean, certainly if it's on the list, it'll happen eventually. Because things happen when you put it in your mind. Big old gorgeous mind. Gorgeous. And not make this such a big head. Big round head. Let's darken this spot. I mean, I made a landscape painting. That's so cute. Like one of those like recreations of like master paintings, but then like they like use like existing IP characters in them, like Hello Kitty or something, or any Sanrio characters, or Chikawa characters. Chikawa's very in right now. Use dry this brush. Some of these brushes, I usually beat the hell out of my brushes. Or here's my thin brush. Still not as thin as I'd like it, but still. I usually beat the hell out of my brushes like something like this. I'll like flatten the fuck out of it, like very, very flatten it. But it destroys the brush. So I try to use it only on a certain population of brushes that I have, because I can't ruin all of them. That's a waste. Like this brush I've cut because it's one of these cheaper ones. It's really old at this point, but this brush also has a lot of like drag to it. I didn't dry brushes that are flatter, baby. I go home into the water to clean mine a lot. For the oil stuff, I usually just do some Gamsol and then some dish soap is what I usually use. Some good old like Dawn's or whatever. I have like a brush cleaner like soap, and like if I feel like the brush had a real beating, I'll try to use that. It just kind of like makes it kind of sort of smooth, but not like that much more. It's kind of like a negligible difference, I feel, but it feels better while cleaning, so maybe it's okay. Maybe it's worth using. Start getting a little bit of dryness here. Here. I hate that Vaporeon doesn't have paw pads on its foot, on its like first foot. It's arms, its hands. It only has a single paw pad on the bottom one back here. Never use a real hairbrush. I'm not super gentle cleaning mine. I don't think honestly, I couldn't tell you if any of the ones that I have are real hairbrush ones. I mean, I can extra tell when some are like super synthetic, but it's hard for me to tell like if it's real hair. I guess if it really was real hair, you would feel the difference though. So maybe I just never had a real one before. I don't know. A lot of the brushes that I have now for oil painting, I got in like a sale thing. Like a local art store was like getting rid of a bunch of brushes, and so they brought them, and it was like, I think it was like might have been $1 per brush, and it was like all sorts of brushes of all sorts of brands and types and stuff and like sizes. I think I got like 20 brushes. Spent like a good 20 something bucks. Because they're all like assorted like that, I don't really know anything about it. I just felt like I just got ones that I knew I would use, like some bigger ones, and then some thin ones because I've never had like super thin ones because I just don't paint very thin. This is like weird. I need to fix this, or I need to fix this. Make it darker here. Sure. Maybe I need to be careful with this little thing because this makes it darker. This sort of like dry brushing thing. This is how I like to add like values to my stuff, is by like just like dry brushing color. But if I'm not careful, I can overdo it because it adds it layer by layer, sort of. Jerry's Artorama has a lot of good brush sales if you have one near you and tons of price points. My professor recommended that place, but I have not checked if there's one near near me/I. But I have heard good things. She was like, they're always running sales. Like, you'll get emails and it'll be like, we're having a sale on this and this and that. And she was like, I don't even need this, but I'm gonna go get it. What I did miss out on was like there was like a local art store that was like, I don't know what's their, they've been moving a lot of store fronts lately, but they recently, like they had just recently moved into a new one, and then they were like announcing that they were not closing down, but basically everything must go. And we were like, oh no, like the local art store is like it's gonna close down. And then it turns out like it wasn't gonna close down. They were actually just going to change their model and like start being like an exclusively canvas based store. And they had all these like other art supplies, and they were like, well, come get those, because we're not doing the other stuff now. We're doing exclusively canvas. Canvas is 100% in. And I didn't go. And I was like, damn, I probably should have gone. But I wonder how deep the discounts were. I feel like it probably wasn't that deep of a discount. Just something about, I feel like they probably wanted their money back on their leftover inventory. So I doubt it was particularly steep sale. But who knows? Multiple ones in Texas, 1 or 2 near Nashville. Interesting. I'd never heard of Jerry's Artorama until my professor mentioned it. She likes to do this joke when like going over like the supply list or like something like that, or like recommending like where to get stuff when someone asks. She'll do this joke where she'll like list off these art stores, and then she'll be like, there's also this small bookstore, I don't know if you heard of it, Amazon. She'll do that joke every time. And everyone lulls, everyone laughs, guffaws, slaps their bellies. They're like, ha 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 ha. Ha ha ha. Maybe this part should be darker. $100 of roll canvas for 10 Joann's. Sit down. Dude, Joann's was not any. I went to like maybe like 3 Joann's. Like during the period where everything must go, and like nothing was on fucking sale. I think the most that I got that was like somewhat on sale, but not even like that much, it was just something I wanted at that point, was like some vinyl, like a heat transfer vinyl that I was like, oh, this would be a good color for Vaporeon. So I can make a Vaporeon shirt. But it wasn't even that deep of a discount, and like all the like the fabric that was left over was, I think it was 2-yard limit, and then the fabric wasn't even that much on sale, and all the fabric that was on sale anyway was already super expensive. So when the price went down, it was still very expensive. I was like, dude, nothing on here is that's nothing here is on sale. This is like the regular prices. If anything, it's usually less expensive when they're not on sale, or when they're not liquidating assets. But for sure, if you can catch a good sale, like they're good. Like that's like your hit of dopamine for like the month. You'll be chasing that for the rest of the month. You'll be like, oh my god, I got how many things for like no money at all? You'll be chasing that high forever. They were encouraging buying whole rolls of your local one for like 90% off. Wow. I guess it really would depend on the store by store basis of like what the manager was thinking or whatever. Because a lot of places are not owned individually, but like they're run differently based on the person who's in charge. It makes sense why some locations didn't have sales. I know I did see a lot of people complaining online that they had a similar experience as mine, where things weren't particularly on sale. The store shelves, yeah, I know that. When Toys R Us was going through their like largest closings in the US, because I think they had right after they closed basically all the stores in the US, they reopened some in Canada or whatever. But in the US there was a Toys R Us, and had gone maybe a little bit in where they were like starting to like let loose of inventory. But my sister and I went and they had the big like Sylvanian creatures, like those cute little oh wait, they're called calico critters, aren't they? Calico critters, I think is what they're called. Those cute little guys are so cute. But they had like the big large display one, and my sister regrets not asking them how much it was. And we didn't know when they were going to close. Kind of happened kind of quickly. Like by the time we were like, okay, let's go ask, like they were gone. Like they already packed up and like left everything. Like left. So we never got to do it. I'm sure that someone's out there selling it, but that's why I really like I really think it's cool those people who, when they have collections, like their collections will comprise of like store displays. I think that's nice. Especially since it's depending on the company, the instructions for the displays will be to destroy them after the campaign's over. It's really cool when there's people who basically preserve them and keep them. It's kind of cool. Let's do this. Yeah. A store display? Which one? I don't think I've seen a display that has me like wowed. I think any sort of like figure. Actually, it's a lie. The Vaporeon in the Pokemon Center in Ikebukuro. I took a picture of it when I went. And that was before I had my major Vaporeon kick. But I did love Vaporeon even then. So I took a picture, and even now I'm like, well, I wish I could see it again. But it's like a life-size Vaporeon with like Eevee and stuff. I would have that. But good luck getting one of those display figures in Japan. Those things, I feel like in Japan, they're probably, companies are more stricter about that sort of stuff. About displays. I want life-size Token Rambu, Mikazuki, Kijiji. I want life-size Fuomoko, Hololive. I want life-size Gargura Hololive. Like those sort of like, oh, there's a Hatsune Miku one too. Those life-size figures. There's like a video on how they make them. It's really interesting. Takes a lot of people to make them. Like a set or a Walkman store display, like a Blockbuster rental. Oh, I'm sure there are Blockbuster ones, especially. Probably just wonder about the condition they're in though. This is weird. This is not round enough. Because it's been a while since Blockbuster was not a thing. So I'm sure the condition is up to chance. Whose chance? I don't know. I don't know how dark I want to make this. I might start adding some red somewhere. My Hall used to go to had the coolest displays. I feel like back then displays were way more of a thing than they are now. I mean, certainly they have to still be a thing now. Back then, I felt like that was like the biggest thing, especially since I don't know how, but I feel like the internet can be attributed to the reason. Or maybe, I guess, maybe not the internet, but the art style of marketing definitely has changed within the years. Among the years? In the years? Alright, Eevee is like a brown. I actually do have a very Eevee like color. I have two. Actually, these are very Eevee colors. It's yellow ochre and burnt sienna. Let me go in with the ochre first, I think. And then I'll call it soon. Let's see how much I can get of this in here. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. It's genuinely creepy. Scary. I wonder where it went. See. Okay. A little bit of this. It's gonna have some glue on it probably, but I think it'll be cute. Okay, this is way yellow. Use it for the chest. Get some white. Some raw white on there. Mix the color on the canvas. This. Something like that. Looks a little muddy, but it's fine. I try not to add white usually so directly because it can make it kind of muddy, but I think this is fine. have to use this bird sienna. I think this bird sienna is gonna be way better. Way better. Wait, I just picked up yellow ochre again. No, not that one. Warehouse full of movie cards and props before they get auctioned. I feel like something like a car would be way harder to get rid of. Because they make so many props for like individual movies. I mean, that's why there's warehouses where you can rent like already made props instead of having to make them. But sometimes it would require a custom thing. It feels like depending on the prop, it would probably be very hard to get rid of it. That's a very Eevee color here. And then this is too wet. Dry it off as much as possible. I think how I can add this color sort to the Vaporeon, maybe like in like a weird shine, without making it green, because it will turn green. Prop building before you got into painting. That sounds like fun. I've always thought about giving it a shot. Mainly just to learn how to make silicone stuff though. Silicone molds. I feel like I would do very well with those. As in it would be very advantageous to my art. But usually a lot of things now are less mold based and like people are switching a lot into trying to do stuff with 3D printing. But I don't know. To me, I still need to learn. I still need to get better at 3D modeling before I ever want to get into actual 3D printing. Although a lot of people who are into 3D printing don't even model. They just they do more like CAD based stuff where it's like flat, like nuts and bolts and stuff. Or they do like they just print stuff that already exists that people have made and posted online. Change the game for sure. The only thing I like about 3D printing is like I get it's oh wait, I already have a bunch of this. I should not pour more. Is that people they leave like the 3D printed ridges and like I get that's like the look. But to me it's like oh my like I don't know, sometimes I feel like the thing that I'm getting 3D printed shouldn't look like it's 3D printed. Like I feel like that's my appeal. Is that I can make whatever and like not have it look 3D printed. Like spray it with some alcohol, damn, or sand it. Like get rid of the coils. Old-fashioned way to use styrene builds and make silicone molds. Yeah, silicone molds I feel like definitely there's the beauty in having like the hand sculpted item and then making the mold of it. Hold. Scared to add too much to this Eevee. Yeah, this Gammy watering down a little bit. Maybe I could try using the ochre as a line color. Maybe. Something else. This color is pissing me off. I'm trying to wipe it away. The fluff of the chest is like way too weird. Just scratch away at it. Scratch, itchy. There's some really nice stuff though, like designing household objects. Yeah, for sure. I feel like the most I usually see it, like in the common like non-artist spaces, is like people building like small shelves or like missing parts for things. Like that's like very like much like the common household use for them, and it's very handy. Then you have to go like buy a whole new thing. This color is not working out. The Gamsol's so blue. So blue. Jelly beans on my mind. I love key. Jelly beans on my mind. Everyone's so into the jelly bean SoftBank phone commercial. From like the whatever 2000s. Everyone's using the one that was like, what is it? 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 What was it? Jelly beans. Hi, hi. That one. This is the Pretty Little Baby. Pretty Little Baby was trending. But there's another Jelly Bean commercial where it's the Mary Jane on My Mind song, but it says Jelly Bean on My Mind. I like that one. Jelly beans on my mind. They're so cute. Little jelly beans with little panties on. So cute. Commercials have great mascots sometimes. Wait, this should probably curve in like this a little bit. Because it's like a fold of like neck all around. So I like painting thin. I don't have like, I have like way less to remove. If I'm painting thin. A little bit more remove. The one thing that I can think about very well, the singing phone buddies, yeah. Like the Psycho Teddy, and then what else? I'm trying to remember what they were. I had seen like a video of like some of those recently. Can't remember all of them. Oh, this is so muddy. The phone scene was so different back then. Every phone looked different. Now all we have is iPhone and lie. Just iPhone. And then like Samsungs, and then like any other like in between. It's so cute, like a bunny. Oh shit, I added color. I didn't want to. Fine, melted in. Looked crazy between models, yeah. I used to have one of the phones that had like the keyboards on them. I used to have that phone like lying around somewhere. It was very hard to navigate, but got the job done. And then my dad had a BlackBerry. I was like, whoa. One of many Blackberries. It's so cute. It's like a bunny. It kind of looks like the bunny Neopet. I don't remember what it's called. I've not played Neopet in a long time. Yeah, I was saying, when I do painting, I'm usually pretty good about remembering contours, and that how like if you paint in the direction that you want, like in the direction of like whatever it is, then you can create like a natural contour. But when I draw digitally, I've noticed that I forget that entirely, and then when I do digital drawings, my art just looks way flat because I'm not like contouring the shading like I do when I paint. It's fluffy, yeah, it's so fluffy. A bunny. Erase this whole thing. Didn't like how this haunch looked like. Let's see. This. Started like erasing, doing the opposite, dry erasing, but it's like wet erasing instead of dry. So why would I say dry? Because it gets the texture. Maybe, ideally, go in and blot it. I've already lost control since it's all wet. Not even that wet, but I have to like go back and fight it. Put my dukes up. What color was it? I don't have the pure color on right now, so it's fine. Maybe. Pat, 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 pat. I have this cerulean, I ended up not really using it. It's just a problem I have where I'll be like, you know what, this blue's lighter, let me use cerulean, and then I'll never end up using like the amount that I put out on the canvas or on the palette. I'm just using foil as a I'm using a foil as a palette. Easier cleanup. And I usually don't put that much anyway on it, so it's fine. Cute. The blue in the ears. Like, how can I incorporate blue into this? And the way I could have done that was like having it be a blue underpainting. But do that, so try to incorporate blue in a way that doesn't make it look super muddy. I'll just make the eye a little bit blue. Oh man, it's late. I did not mean to paint for this long. I start painting, I can just be here for hours. There's always something to do when painting. You're always like pushing here and pulling there. Much to do. Eevee's tail is still that color. Okay, well I have that color out. Let me use it. This. I left this here. I can take it out really. A bit of shading or laying with a different blue. That's true. Maybe I think I might wait for it to be dry to do that. I mean, as if it's not already that much dry. I think it won't be a bad idea to wait until it's a little bit more on the drier end to do it. But the way how people like do like highlights and stuff, where they just like do highlights at the end and they add like the white over it or whatever instead of leaving white from the canvas. I think I'll try that. My hands been coiled like the whole time. I have to do a stretch afterwards to release the nerve. Oui. Let's see. The way Eevee has like a gender difference for its tail, but that was like added like later. It was like added later so I could match Pikachu. He didn't used to have the gender difference with its tail. If it's a girl, it looks like a heart because a Pikachu looks like it's a girl, it has a heart tail if it's a girl. It's such a problem, yeah. I had like a really bad like it's not painting, but when I would play rhythm games a bunch, my pinky would hang off the edge of the phone and I would get like a really bad like pinky cramp. It would be like stiff. I couldn't move it because it was just dangling and it would be like hard to move. Very dangerous. Because I'm like way more conscious about it now, I don't really play rhythm games anymore. Cause that's part of it. I'm like, I don't wanna like waste my hand's durability on rhythm games if I wanna keep drawing. I'll still play rhythm every now and then, but I'm not like trying to go so intense like I used to. I live a different life now. Also, all my favorite rhythm games are dead, so it's not like I can go back. You played handheld games for a long time. I'm holding it weird, yeah. You want a game forever, then you have to keep tabs on your positioning, or else you might be gaming for a lot shorter of a time than you think. Eevee with a single thing of baby hair. A little like the little curl. The little baby curl. That'd be cute. That would just look like, if I was to do that, it would just look like the Hetalia Ahoge like shape. There are remnants of past civilizations everywhere. And that cute little curl that Hetalia does is one of them. It's cute, damn it. Look at that face. It is so cute. I'm gonna take a picture of it after I'm done streaming, and then I'll upload it to Twitter and Blue Sky. And if I remember Instagram, I always forget to do stuff on Instagram. I'm a little more shy with the Instagram audience. But I've always done pretty well on Instagram. Like, people will interact and stuff, but I'm still a little bit shy in that regard. Let's see. I could add shading here, but this is still kind of wet. And I guess I'll try to do the Vaporeon really quickly. The mouth, even though I did want a little bit more concentration on that. Let me use my extra thin paintbrush if I can find it. I know I held it up here a second ago. Here it is. Found it. I found it. That one girl who finds the famous internet cats online. She goes, "I found him." And then she'll like go through the account. Where's my blue? Let me take a little bit off the top of it. Beep, 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 beep. I guess like the way I found that using this works really nicely is like look at Vaporeon really quickly. Vaporeon's nose placement really kind of makes or breaks it. There was this person on TikTok who was making a life-size Vaporeon statue. And a lot of the videos they have of it is just them like sanding it, because sanding is like 90% of what you'll do. Fuck! Sanding is like 90% of what you'll do when you like 3D print something, especially if it's huge. Oh god, I need to like hold this in like a specific manner. I think I have other. So glad I don't wear this pink hoodie out anywhere else. This is my streaming hoodie. This pink hoodie I have on, because it matches my real one. But it's my streaming hoodie. So if it has a bunch of paint on it, it doesn't matter. Thank God, because this stuff is not coming out. Anyway, he made a life-size Vaporeon. And something about it was just a little bit off, and it's because it's based off like the common like Vaporeon's like portrait, like the full body one where it's like sitting and its tail's curled and it like has its mouth open. It's kind of looking up. The proportions on that are a little bit weird. Like the nose looks extra small and like the mouth looks kind of strange. Again, Vaporeon just looks very weird in 3D. Just very, very weird. Like, depending on the proportions that they model it, it will just look strange. Actually, I don't think I need to do a mouth, because Vaporeon, sometimes they draw it without a mouth. Because it looks good. Because it looks cute and moe if it doesn't have a mouth. The card art to 3D never translates well, yeah. There's some Vaporeon cards that look just so weird because they have it in like a very cute position that you would normally not see it in like official art or like in the games. But because it's like a weird position, it just looks very silly. Like the body looks strange. This is when I'm starting to add values. I need to stop streaming. It's late. I like painting. This is when I start taking the colors straight from the tube and I start to like add that value in, and then once it dries I'll go back because it usually layers quite a bit. East Coast stay nice and quiet. Quite late on the East Coast, isn't it? It should be not yours, but it should be bedtime. I still want to do a little bit of work. Which is why I'm like, I should start streaming. 1:30? That's very, very late. Not a bad time to sleep, though. Depending on when you wake up. If you're, like, gonna wake up, like, at... Usually I try to, like, allow at least 7 hours of sleep. And I think depending on when you wake up, 1:30 isn't a terrible time to go to sleep as long as you get your 7 hours. Ideally, I'm a big fan of 8 hours, but 7 is like a good amount. But there are times if I sleep too early, I'll wake up in like 3 hours and my body's like, okay, you can get up and do stuff now. And it's like, no, 3 hours? Are you crazy? Especially since I have to like, the only time I would go to sleep that early where that becomes a problem is like when I have to wake up early. And then by sleeping early, I wake up early. And by early, I mean 3 hours of sleep and not like 10 or whatever. It's like a weird, I think it's a common thing though. Like this sort of like, there is such a thing as going to sleep too early for some people. And I think I have that. Did you sleep off so badly? Yeah, same. Even like using like melatonin won't keep me down. And if anything, melatonin will have me waking up more and more. I mean, the sleep will feel good, but it will have me getting up so many times where it's like, I'm better off using that if I'm going to go to sleep soon and I have to wake up soon and have the melatonin make me feel like I slept and not like have it actually wake me up for 10 hours on end. 2 or 3 and struggle going back. Yeah. Strategic sleeping. Very real. This little light that I have that I'm using, because I have like a ring light. Also, like I have like a desk lamp back there, but I have like a ring light and I was like dreading. I was like hoping I didn't have to actually use it because it heats up the room so hot. And it's very hot already. And luckily this little like light from Daiso that is like off camera, I think, has been working very, very well. I'm very happy. Can't beat the dollar store. Except Daiso is not really a dollar store anymore because like they're raising all their prices to like from anything. It was like anything unmarked because the prices can range. Anything unmarked is $1.25. And now I think they're raising it that it's gonna be $2. If not $2.25 if it's unmarked. And like at that point, like you're ridiculous. Like I'm not like a single thing $2.25 as the default price. You're crazy. Like no way. I always end up spending a lot when I go just because I usually pay for my sister's stuff because it's easier to just buy it at once and instead of having both of us in line if we're like in the same party, if you will. So I'll just buy it and I always spend so much. And I'm gonna be spending even more? Crazy. That sucks. Place your art light bulb with an LED to cut down on heat. Yeah. Lights get very, very hot. I don't know. How do like IRL streamers do it? When they stream with hella ring lights and stuff. They have to be cooking. Certainly, right? Or maybe they just like being in like a dark ass room. Maybe they have good enough mic setups where you can't hear like the fan going. Just sweat through it, probably. I feel like if you were on camera, you would see that. Especially the ones that like the ladies who wear makeup, like that's probably extra bad. Alright, I gotta let this go. I gotta let this go. I'll be here forever if I had my way and I would just be sitting here painting. Look at my glove. It's brown and blue. Brown and blue are actually really good color combinations. It's like a strange combo that you think wouldn't necessarily work, but it looks really good together. If anything, brown and blue feels very like mid 2000s, like a weird mid 2000s bedroom. That's what it reminds me of. Let me see if I can move. Grabs my phone. Actually, I should grab it from this way so I don't get paint on it. Let's see if I can up and show you guys. Browns, blues, and reds, great combo. That's basically kind of what I use for this. See it? Sort of. Very cute. Yay! I'll post a picture of it on the socials that have pictures. I guess you can post it on YouTube too now that I think about it. Because YouTube has the what's it call it? Hopefully if I put this on the mic thing, it won't be weird. Whoa, there you go. Let's move my beautiful mouse and cursor over here. I'll move the chat over here as well. Round and always nice together, yeah. Go very nice together. Do. Let's see. This music, like at some point, because I turn off the Nintendo or like the Pokemon music, like my brain has been very like I cut out the music. I can't hear it. A nice water-filled pillow. Are those cozy? I've never used a waterbed. I don't think I've ever been on one. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. The color is so different on the camera from here to here. You can see like a glare. It's like a weird like what would you call it? Like the thingies on it, like the pattern texture, the digital texture. Cool, but not with animals and animals. You know what it reminds me of is recently I went to get boba with some friends and I got a new place. And I literally we were having a picnic and we got boba beforehand. I'm like, oh, let's have some boba after. And I was like helping set up the table and stuff. And literally I like sat down because I was adjusting something and I sat on my fucking boba because I hadn't opened it yet. I hadn't like put the straw in. So it was just sitting there. And I sat on the fucking boba. I sat on it and it exploded on the blanket that we were using. And I lost like 98% of the drink. I only had like a sip of it. It was good, but I only had a sip of it. And there was like no boba in it because it fell out. It exploded. And I haven't gone back to get another one because it was so expensive. And I was like, I don't know if I want to get another one. I just loaded my stream. It looks so distorted. It's kind of cute. It's like a little natural mosaic effect. That blows. It does blow. Just the way it blew up on impact. Let's see. We'll see. Alright, I did not mean to stream for so damn long. Let's see. Ba-da-ba-da-ba. Alright, we're gonna raid someone new because I should try it. But we're gonna raid Soli. Yeah, we're gonna say meow for everyone who's on Twitch. And that's that, okay? Highly raid someone. I have not raided someone in a long time. Alright, everyone. Good night. Sweet dreams. Have fun out there. I don't know. Bye-bye. Say meow. Say meow. Meow.